Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Season2 TV. Come watch TV with me. I pitch with a grenade. Swing away if you feeling brave. That is what the writers and the creative team of Doc had on their mood boards this week. Because this episode, coming back after break, phenomenal. It was so good. I love this show, and they really came back swinging. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Season2 TV. Get in here and come talk about Doc with me. Please, let's talk about this one. Season 2, episode 10, back for the back half of the season. We get 22 episodes this season, so we in for a ride. And baby, they did not disappoint in the least. I have so much to talk about this episode, so sit back, relax, and come talk to me. First of all, one of the things that I'm loving most about this back half of the season, I feel a difference in the way that they presented the case this week. The medical case, I felt a difference from moment one. The stranger dropping off the body at the hospital, zooming off, it caught my attention immediately. Because there was a sense of mystery about the case, and that's really interesting, and it captures your attention, and you want to figure out what's going on. It's like you're solving a case, you know what I'm saying? So I really, really loved it. And then when we got to the room with Shannon and her mother, the acting of the actress who played Shannon's mom was phenomenal, because I was immediately intrigued. This was hands down one of the best cases that has been on Doc so far. I wasn't expecting it to be as emotional as it was. Baby, my heart was beating so fast. I was so emotional towards the end of the episode. Like, it got crazy. In the way that the cases were the same story made it even better. They connected, and you wouldn't expect that originally. You know what I'm saying? The story had to unfold, and you had to get little bits and pieces, and then for it to have come together the way it did, I loved it so much. All right, let's jump right into things. Now, y'all know, if you watch my videos and you follow me, you know that I love me some Michael Honda. Okay, I love him, and I will defend him at every twist and every turn, even when he's wrong. Okay, he's wrong at the beginning of his back half of the season. My man's is salty. He's mad, and I'm not mad at him for being mad. I completely understand. Your shit got blew up. You got caught out, and y'all can't sit on your high horses and act like when you get caught out for some shit and you know you wrong and you feeling that heat. Okay, unless you are a self-aware person who can admit their wrongs and admit their shortcomings, you're gonna be just like Michael, mad at the motherfucker who exposed you. And we all know Michael is very, very emotionally unintelligent. He's a man. Okay? So even though he's wrong, I understand him as usual. And Nora hit the nail on the head with him when she said, you want to do the right thing per usual. And that can come off as very disingenuous to a lot of people. And I think that's a lot of the reason why a lot of y'all don't like Michael. And I get that, because he does come off as very disingenuous. Just because I happen to understand him and like him doesn't mean you have to. And I understand why you don't, because that is a very big character flaw. I personally love a flawed character because I love character development. But I could see why people would dislike the way that he goes about things, because, bruh, just admit you're wrong. Admit your shortcomings. Admit you fucked up. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Let people be mad at you for a little bit. It's going to be all right. But he's not there. He's just not there. And I'm proud of Nora for getting the fuck up out of there. Like, enough. Sorry, Michael. You got to deal with, you got to take that L on the head. You have got to take this L on the head and deal with it. That's the only way he gonna come out on the other side. Take your L's, bruh. Okay? I say that with love, baby, because you know I love you. Man, I'm so sick of the Biopsy twins and their bullshit. Like, I'm so sick of them. All of this, like we've been saying all season, y'all are doing all of this on some false information that you have about your father. And it's driving me crazy. I really cannot wait for them to be exposed and be caught. I need them under the jail, both of them, especially now. After the shit that they pulled tonight that cost somebody their life, they gotta go. They gotta go. I didn't care about the tears. None of that. I don't care about them feeling bad. None of that. Wrap them up. Expose them. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Release them to jail. Okay? Go. I'm ready to figure Joan's character out already. they dragging it a little bit for me, because I know that there's a bigger reason and a bigger like story there with Joan, and why she is the way that she is with Amy, why she's there, her ulterior motives. Like, even if they're not ulterior, what are her motives? What's her reason? And they're dragging it. Like, I need to know, because right now her character to me is pointless. Pointless. We could have kept Richard around for this. So it's like, what are we doing here? I need them to get to that. They need to hurry up and get to that and expose it a little bit more, or else I'm gonna be really over that storyline. Sonya. Hold up. Now again, y'all know I love me a flawed character, because I love character development. I love to see a character go from being one way to learning, growing, figuring themselves out, changing, and becoming somebody else. And, you know, for the better. Or even for the worse. You know, just a good character development story. I love it. Which is why I love when characters are not perfect people. But Sonya, baby, I can't keep defending you out here when you acting like this. Come on. Like, Sonya is so petty when it comes to Amy. And it's hindering Sonya's growth as a doctor. And it's hindering her growth as a person, because I thought we moved past all this petty shit with Amy. I thought we were moving past it. But in this episode, she on the same petty bullshit. Trying to assert her power, assert the fact that Amy's an intern and working under her. No, but you know Amy's instincts be correct 90% of the time. So if she's saying something, as a good doctor, you're supposed to listen and take it into consideration, even if you don't agree. Work together to help the patient. And Sonya did not do that in this episode. And it cost her everything, because this is a defining moment for her. It cost her big time. This was a defining moment in her career, and it's going to always be with her. This was just not the time. It was not the time. And like I said, it cost her big time. Like, all you had to do was work with Amy. Both of y'all, you know, just, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And even though in the bigger scheme of things, all of this is really Hannah and her brother's fault, the fucking Bopsy twins, is their fault. But Sonya still could have done a better job at being a doctor. Put that shit with Amy behind you when y'all in those patients' rooms. Don't look at her as don't feel like you're her superior or all that petty shit. Work with her as a partner. Ugh, she pissed me off tonight, y'all. I can't. I have nothing. And I can't even be mad at Amy for coming for her neck the way she did, because, like, I've been trying to work with you. Like, Amy was really trying to be, you know, I'm an intern. Let me just go in here, do my thing, assess. But she was peeping shit and using her instincts and trying to share that shit and get permission from Sonya. So Amy was trying. So for Amy to come at her sideways like that at first, when she did it, it rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, because I love Sonya. You know, of course, I'm like, don't talk to her like that. But I also got to keep it real and keep it a buck at all times and admit when my folks be wrong. And Sonya was dead ass wrong. Amy had every right to step to her the way she did. Sonya, I still love you, baby. And you still gonna be one of my faves. But I can't defend you no more. And I said in one of my previous videos that I love Sonya and TJ's chemistry, even if it never goes anywhere besides like friendship, because right now it's kind of unclear of like where they stand with each other. But I love them as a pairing, even if it's just friendship, like somebody to lean on. I love them. I really love them together, and I would love them as a couple, best friends. Like, for me, it doesn't matter as long as they keep building a relationship in any kind of capacity. I'm happy, because I love them and they have great chemistry. Patrick and oh, I can't think of her name. I can see it, but I can't think of it. Anya, I think it's Anya. Yes, Anya. Patrick and Anya have beautiful chemistry. So I hope that we still get to continue to build on that in any capacity, because I love them together. One of my absolute favorite scenes and moments in tonight's episode was when it was during one of the flashback scenes where Amy was in the office with those other 3 male physicians, and they were like, good catch. And Amy was like, no, not really. I love what Amy represents. Now, granted, of course, when we first start watching the show and we get flashbacks at Amy House, she was a little abrasive and she didn't have the best bedside manner and she was kind of cold and kind of a bitch sometimes. Okay, she was. Now that we're getting to know her more, know her story more, know more about her as a character pre-accident and after the accident, I'm starting to see that Amy was really just one of those doctors who knew she was a boss, knew that she was the best in the room. But as a woman, you always gotta fight harder in the medical field when you around a bunch of doctors, male doctors who think they know everything. You gotta stand 10 toes down. You gotta have that kind of attitude. And I'm starting to see her pre-accident in a different light. Um, and that scene really drove it home for me a little bit more. Like, she was just doing what she had to do to be taken seriously in a field dominated by men, and a field that doesn't respect women doctors. And I absolutely love that. I absolutely love it. Like, be a bitch, be a boss if you have to. You know what I'm saying? To get the respect that you know you deserve. Come on, Aim. Another lesson that I took from this episode was, it's even though Sonya was petty and caused that 17-year-old boy to lose his life because she was being petty, it is very hard to be a doctor and to make those decisions, which is why you gotta leave that petty shit at the door. You already have a job that is difficult in decision making, where you can make the wrong decision. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at Sonya for making the wrong decision, because as a doctor, that shit happens. I'm mad at Sonya for letting her petty feelings towards Amy cloud her better judgment in being a doctor. A good one at that. Like, you want to be chief resident. You can't be chief resident acting like this. And I feel like her name should be taken off the hat. I don't think she's ready for it. I thought she was getting there. You know, that's another reason why I'm annoyed with her. Like, I thought we were moving forward. Like, she was really showing her leadership skills. And now you just went down 10 notches on my belt. Like, I don't like that, you know? And if anything, I'm mad at Sonya for that. For not being a good doctor. Not for causing the boy to lose his life, but for being a bad doctor. She wasn't a good doctor in this episode. The scene where I can't think of his name right now, but the 17-year-old boy, when they called it, I mean, emotional. Those actors, tens. I felt every single emotion in that hospital room. It was so good. It was so well executed. I just got to take a moment and give props to everybody who worked on this episode, because it was so good. I felt things, okay? And then, like, usually that happens with a character that you have a more of a connection with, a character, like, especially with the patients. If they've been in the hospital for, you know, those cases that go on for weeks and weeks, and the patient's been in the hospital, you gain a connection with them, you get to know them, you fall in love with them, and then they die. For us to only have for him to have only really been on screen for a short amount of time, it was the acting that really tugged at your heart. It was so good. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Let's take a minute to talk about Katie, because I think sometimes when we're watching shows like this, we forget that Katie's a child still, and her brain acts as such. Okay, she's still a kid who doesn't know how to really process her emotions or her feelings. I feel like she's a little hard on her mom a lot, but we also have to remember that she's a child who probably already felt like second best when it came to Danny. So for Danny to pass away, for your mom to change, for you to feel like she doesn't love you anymore, for her to distance herself, for her to completely check out on you. Y'all gotta kind of give Katie a little grace in that sense of why she got so much smoke for her mama. Like, and it's her mom. As girls, we're different with our moms than we are with our dads. Like, I just feel like Katie has a lot of growing to do. And I feel like one day she'll be able to look back on these times and be like, damn, I really could have done better with how I handled that with my mother. But right now, I don't think she's gonna handle it any better than a kid would. You know, she's just gonna have smoke for her mother. And that's how these tumultuous relationships and trauma affects our relationships with our parents. Things like this. This is a perfect example of how a life-changing situation can affect a relationship between a mother and daughter, and it can go into the future if it's not handled properly. And I'm hoping that Dot really takes the time to dive into the mental part of why Katie and Amy's relationship is severed right now because it's deep. It's deep, and it's going to take a lot of deep healing to fix it. And I hope that we get the opportunity to see them do that. I really do. But yeah, this episode, 10 out of 10. I loved every single bit of it. I am so excited to dive into this new season and see what else they come up with, because right now it's looking real hot and spicy and I'm here for it. I'm so excited. This episode really lit a fire up under me with my doc. You know, when the show goes off for a while, I kind of lose my, if I'm not like hyper fixated on it, and I love Doc. It's one of my favorite shows, but I'm not hyper fixated on it. So when it goes away, it kind of goes to the back of my mind. But they came back so strong that now, okay, I'm up, I'm awake, I'm set. Okay, so please tap into the comments. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Let me know where you think we're going. Just come talk to me. It's my favorite part of making these videos. It's why I make them. I am not a content creator who wants to be a journalist or anything like that. I don't want to do interviews. That's just not my bag. I am a fan-centered content creator. I make these shows because I want to talk to y'all. I make these, not these shows, I make these videos because I want to talk to y'all. I make these reviews because I want to connect with the fans and have discourse. I want to agree, disagree, talk about the characters we love, talk about the ones we don't. This is why I do this, because, you know, I don't have people in my real life that I could do it with for real. Not on this level. And I love TV and storytelling so much that I like to do it on this level. So yeah, come talk to me. I'll see y'all next week.